Good evening, I'm Greg Floyd.
And I'm Dory Marlin. Our top story tonight, refusing to take standardized state exams. That is the goal of some Capital Region parents who claim the tests are not in their child's best interest. Their movement of parents has been gaining momentum across the state. Districts need about 95% of students to take the exams. They say it helps to gauge development, plus federal funding also is tied to participation. Brandon Lewis joining us now live in the studio. And Brandon, you spoke with parents who are totally against these standardized tests tonight. And what is their main complaint here?
Well, Dory, they feel their children are being institutionalized, and standardized testing makes them feel more like a number. They believe by having their children refuse to take the test, it's a form of civil disobedience.
That would not be a good idea.
A small group of concerned parents considered having their children refuse upcoming standardized English language arts and math tests.
There's no connectivity to what they've actually learned. These tests really are only measuring 15% of what they were taught.
Principal Tim Farley is an outspoken critic of the testing and says it's failing to give proper benchmarks for students.
It crushes their self-esteem. I've seen far too many kids being reduced to a number, and when you get that number in the mail, whether it's a 4, a 3, or a 2, or a 1, especially if it's a 2 or a 1, and when you didn't used to be a 2 or a 1, you feel like you failed. And we don't have failures.
But some parents say programs like Common Core and No Child Left Behind, which prompted additional standardized testing, work to bridge the achievement gap.
As far as the minority community and kids in the minority community, we're getting left behind. A lot of our children are getting left behind. There's not money, there's not the tax space for improvements.
And despite their differences, both she and those against the test hope by either refusing the exam or pushing for them, they can improve education overall.
We all get on the same page because we need these young people to take care of us when we're old and in a nursing home. So let's get it together. If we have to pay a little extra $2,000 to educate our kids properly, what's the problem?
Now, Farley says there's no impact on a student's record if they refuse the exam, but there could be on a district next year. The State Association of School Attorneys says federal Title I funding could be at risk if 95% of a district students don't take the test this year. Farley says, though, there is a waiver in place that prevents that from happening. Live in the studio, Brandon Lewis, CBS 6 News.